welcome. I am here with the wonderful class from Wintergreen Elementary. Everyone say hello.
Hello.
And today we ask the question, what's the problem? We are learning about the fundamental counting principle, which the illustrious Mr. Whit Blanchard taught us. We looked on a website that he gave us, which was particularly helpful. And we came up with a working definition. This is the one Ms. Harrison came up with last class. Let's read it together. I'll point to the words as we read.
The fundamental counting principle is a means for finding total possible outcomes by multiplying choice at each level.
Very good, thank you. So, it's a way to figure out the total possible outcomes and the likelihood of those events happening, which is probability, correct?
Yes.
Likelihood, chance, very good. So, we talked about how it related to probability. Ms. Harrison came up with something to say. Does anyone else have something that they want to say loudly about how it relates to probability? John.
It could happen, you could get the right answer, you could not. And also, if you're doing a problem and it's always good, you can get it right and you can get it wrong at the same time.
Right. And you have to figure out, so how does it relate to probability? Because you have to have what, Baker? Did I say your name wrong?
No.
Okay, good.
Well,
Yeah. You have to figure out the total number of outcomes. Yay! Okay. And that has to do with probability. Yes, Savannah.
you can also relate it by you can also relate it because if you know what you're going to think, which is probability, which you think of what the answer is, and then you multiply everything by doing the fundamental counting principle, you could find out what number it is, and then try to see what number you had and see if it's the same or different.
Very good. And if you can't understand fundamental counting principle, then you can't even find the numbers that you start off with probability, right? It's the fundamental basis for understanding probability. Okay, so here's a real life example. We've got 2 up here. By the end of the day, I'm going to have 3 because we're adding on 1 with each classroom. Miss Harrison likes to go to Starbucks. At Starbucks, I will either get what 2 sizes? A Trenta or a Venti. Very good. So that's 2 choices. 2 choices, and that's why we had the first number 2. Let me get my pointer out. 2 for 2 choices. Now, why do I have 3? Who can raise their hand and do the talking for me? Someone I hadn't heard from. Anyone that I hadn't heard from? All right, John, way to step up, buddy. Well, tell me what the 3 stands for.
3 stands for because you want 3 types of cream. Cream, half and half, no cream, or all cream.
Almond milk, right? Yeah, good. So there were 3 choices for cream. Thank you, John. And then we had 3 types of sweetener. What were they, Harrison?
Pumpkin spice, no spice, and
Just the regular sugar, and they call it classic. Thanks, Harrison. All right, and then last 3, what did that stand for? Oh, let's see, I hadn't heard from Gavin today. Do you remember? You have your hand kind of up. If not, Brandon will help you.
I forgot what it was.
Brandon? That's right. 2 pumps, 3 pumps, or no pumps, so the quantity. So then we multiplied all these numbers together, and how many total possible options do we have? Everybody class?
54!
Very good. In the first video, I forgot to say no pumps, because that's an option, right? So, yeah. Okay, in this class, we came up with another type of option. We were looking at Madison's beautiful hair, and we were thinking about different ways that she could style it. So imagine that Maddie has how many bows, class?
11.
And she could either wear it in braids or ponytails, correct?
Correct.
And she could either have no braids or ponytails, or she could have a braid and a ponytail, or she could have braids or ponytails, right? Ooh, that sounds like more than 3 options. We might have to draw this out more fully. I'm not sure about the numbers of like putting a braid or putting a ponytail, but I know that we can do the bows and the braids and the ponytail. So okay, let's say she has 11 bows and she has braids. That's how many choices of a bow and a braid? How many? Class? 11, right? Because that would be one roll. What about 11 choices with a ponytail? How many would that be? 11, right? 11 plus 11 is what? 22. Or 11 choices with no braid or ponytail, just her straight long hair. What would it be? 11, right? Because you have 11 different bows. So that would be how many choices to do her hair? 33. 11 plus 11 plus 11, right? But we know that there are a lot more choices to do Maddie's hair. So that is something that we're going to be thinking about and figuring out. Is that super cool? Good. Okay.